Okay, here we are. There's Gourmand right there in the corner. So yeah, as you can obviously see, this is going a little bit differently to my other triple play videos for this. That's because this one is it's three completely different paths. You talk to different people, give you different responses, and on top of that, you have to go to completely different areas. So I felt it was more appropriate to have them all just showcase center stage than to try to combine them all together in this one big composite video. Now this was actually really cool. This all depends on who you picked in the beginning because it affects who your final boss is. And during this whole stage, whoever the other two antagonists were, they die. They get killed by the main boss for your playthrough. Let's see if this one is the Dark Prince or Dark Majesty, whatever you want to call him, whose servants are Belladonna and Malakio, or Jagan and Bijou. Just really weird to me. But also, I wanted to get this out here. If you're following along, you're gonna be really disappointed by next week because I'm not posting next week. The only thing I'm posting next week is another one of my weight loss journey videos. This week, I'm going to be taking a week off from this because one, I need to grind. Like this week's session made it very apparent. I need to grind a lot. So I'm going to be doing a lot of that. I'm going to be doing a lot of grinding. Because I need to level up Hawk's party, and I need to level up Kevin's party. They really need it. I am getting my butt handed to me. Of course, also from what I understand, the Super Nintendo, the original version of the game is really freaking hard. So, I don't really do so hot with high difficulty games, but I'm enjoying my time so much with this that I'm going to take session or two aside and grind and level up so I can be comparable to the enemies I face next time instead of like this time where I'm just straight getting my butt handed to me. Like the basic enemies were almost one-shotting me is how bad it was. Yeah, here's that shocker where you think that this item, which, it's fair to assume that if you play RPGs, it's absolutely fair to assume that the big ultimate weapon is only a force for good. No, the Sword of Mana simply reflects what's in the hearts of its wielder. If the heart of its wielder is drastically, different, like a whole. A whole opposition to its previous wielder, there's going to be a bit of growing pains to adjust to it, but that's only going to last like a minute. Here we go. The mana stones are breaking. And then I get my boss gauntlet of all the Benevodon god beasts. But at least these areas that my party's in, I can stay in and just grind for a while, because the enemies are strong enough where I'm going to gain quite a bit of XP from them. All right. Yeah. See, in this one, Belladonna and Malakio are the ones going to die, whereas the last one, they were the main antagonists. I must have had something going on when I was reading this, because for some reason it's going so slowly. Oh well, it happens. I still love, I love how crisp everything looks on the emulated one on the Switch. I know it's not, not everybody really likes this, because these games weren't made for HD TVs, but I love how pixelated, I love how I can see how everything is made. Like, I love pixel art. I make it in my spare time whenever I have it, which I haven't had spare time in almost a year now. I used to do my thumbnails in this, but it's so time consuming, and trying to do a video a week and have a custom, fully made pixel art thumbnail, it's not exactly easy. And I'm really not going to be trying to borrow from other sources to make it. So, and the really cool thing about Kevin's part here is that he's got a little epilogue after the, after he encounters the main antagonist in Ferolia. Whereas for Hawkeye, that basically just ended right there. That was it. Yeah, I do remember Gormund from the game Sword of Mana. He hung around there for a bit. I don't think he was in the original Final Fantasy Legend, though. don't know. I'll actually have to play through Final Fantasy Legend to figure that one out. Sword of Mana was actually a pretty fun playthrough, so. And it's a remake of Final Fantasy Legend for the most part. Yeah, as we discover, that's not the case, Kevin. I wish I had put Carly in this party. Like, after, seeing Gormand and Heath, and, them having all this together, I really wish I had put Carly in this party, because it would have let me play through more her storyline. Oh well. Something I can do later. Alright. See, things get really interesting from this point on. Now, this cutscene we already saw, but now we get to see it with crisp HD graphics. That's right, time to kill us some Benevodons. I think this encounter right here is entirely optional. Like, you could just walk away from here and never speak to him. If you do, you miss out on some very important story development for Kevin. Of course, I wonder if you pick. I wonder if the scene would actually play out differently if you had Kevin in your party and you picked Charlotte, or you didn't have Kevin in your party and you had Charlotte. would Kevin still be in Ferolia? I don't know. It's one of those things that I'd want to play through the game again and find out. Yeah, it dumps all this exposition on you that's all important to Kevin's story. His mom didn't abandon him, she died. His dad acted like a dick to him to make him stronger. But he still actually cared for his son. He didn't care about having some sort of war and making beastmen superior and the supreme beings or anything. He didn't care about that. All he wanted was his son to thrive and surpass him someday. This is all basically to make Kevin bitter, angry, and just straight up hateful towards his own dad, and use that as fuel to get stronger. It's really effed up, honestly, but it's still, he actually does care for his son in a really effed up sort of way. But apparently this whole thing allows the king to question that, to question his, that maybe he was in the wrong with this. And, they kind of reconcile a bit right here. In spite of it being kind of effed up.
Cool. Did you take Fairy? Oh, don't be ridiculous. It wasn't me. If it were, I would have done away with all of you and stolen the sword instead of waiting here.
Something's going on
Just
with my
try
capture
it.
card. It's like skips and jitters things
I'm
sometimes.
speaking hypothetically. It pains me to see the sword of mana right in front of me, but I have orders to leave you whole. The one who stole Fairy from you also obliterated my master, the masked mage, along with his entire fortress, Mirage Palace. My hands are tied. If I don't do as they say, they won't let me live. And so I'm only here as a messenger. Yes. I'm well aware that they will do away with me once I've fulfilled my purpose. I'm merely cooperating until I can make my escape. Huh? Well, there I go, rambling on again. I'm sure you can tell that your enemy is the epitome of evil at this point. They're waiting at the entrance to the sanctuary. There, that's done. Word of advice, it's best to just admit defeat. Farewell!
Farewell, my foot! Where's Heath, you meanie?
Who? Oh, right. The magic corrupting him is probably lifted now that my master is dead. I heard it left him quite confused, however. We lost track of him, but good riddance. I have better things to worry about than his well-being. Like mine. Goodbye.
Heath is still lost. Poor Heath. I promise, I'll find you as soon as we defeat this bad guy.
Is that a cold reading for that line?
It is over. All of it. Now his dark majesty can never be revived. My master, his dark majesty, sacrificed his
this one
life
had an extra
by
scene
using
too,
a
because in the
forbidden
previous
spell
playthrough I hadn't
to bring the
encountered
Darkstone
anybody
from
before I
Mavolia
hit that
to
last
this
save
realm.
point.
In order to gain access to the sanctuary. Using the Sword of Mana, we would then revive him. Together we would turn this world into our new homeland of Mavolia. But a new enemy came and destroyed my master's corpse. Now, His soul is trapped forever in darkness, lost to us, just like the mana sword. We were utterly defeated. Malokio thought we might still be able to obtain the sword ourselves in order to bring Mavolia to this realm. But a world without his dark majesty. I could not bear the thought. That cowardly fool. Malokio's pettiness was an insult to his dark majesty's memory. So I destroyed him with my own hands. Don't worry. I intend to follow soon. His dark majesty was the reason for my existence. This is farewell.
There we go. Here's the final pairing right here.
Stop! Where do you think you're taking Fairy?
Ha! If you wish to retrieve your fairy, you will bring the Sword of Mana to Castle Altena.
I'll do... what? Hang on! No! That coward!
Everyone else couldn't touch the sword, so they were waiting for you to get it for them. That's why they took Fairy.
What to do? This is a trap.
Yeah, I know. We gotta go, even if it is a trap. We can't just leave Fairy to those fiends. I ain't running from this fight. Fairy needs us. And that Crimson Wizard? He won't get the best of me this time.
It's interesting to think
Let's go.
that this scene plays out in, what, 9 different ways?
Come on! Fairy's in danger!
That wizard better not have touched Fairy.
You are too late. Now, if you wish to save Fairy and the Queen, you must give me that sword of yours.
Evil cur!
Yeah, this
Call me what you will.
scene would
I'll
have
take
played
that
out
sword.
very differently if I had
If
Angela
you
in the
move an
party.
inch, I cannot guarantee
wish I
the
did.
lives of
Oh, well.
Fairy or Her Majesty. Oh, so this is the Sword of Mana. Ah! Ah!
Ha! Look at that! The sword doesn't want a corrupt soul like yours anywhere near it.
The Sword of Mana reflects the heart of its wielder, good or wicked. The Dragon Lord's dark power will change the sword into a vessel of evil.
We've done it. The Sword of Mana belongs to the Dragon Lord.
No!
We are done here. Now we must use the sword on each Mana Stone to release the seals on the Benevodons.
What are you doing? You promised!
I said simply demanded the sword. I never said I would spare any of you in the end.
I'm thinking that the queen
You
lives
have
if I have
no
Angela
honor.
in the party.
Fight me right here and now!
Just like the king in Ferolia
Sadly,
probably
I
dies.
have no more time
if
to
I,
waste on
don't
you,
have,
pitiful heroes.
Kevin in the party.
But do not fret. Once we free each of the Benevodons,
nice thinking
you will
on it.
all die, sooner or later. You may live for now and watch the world perish. Consider it a gesture of appreciation for the sword.
I am so sorry. You lost the sword because of me.
Fairy, it's not your fault. You okay? They're trying to revive the Benevodons. So, what do we do now?
Oh no! It started already! Quick! Let me back inside you! I'll show you what's happening to the stones! Close your eyes.
Yeah, this scene plays out way faster than the Super Nintendo versions.
This is horrible! The Benevodons have awakened! But they've only just revived. We still have a chance! Right now, all 8 Benevodons are separate. So, if we can defeat each one before they join and combine their power, the world might yet be saved. Let's go to the Mana Stones.
Alright, that'll do it for this week. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, you can check out past videos here. Or you can click here to check out my newest upload. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell to stay notified on all future videos.